YouTube isn't just a platform anymore. It's where culture, news, and creators shape what India watches and talks about. From global moves like hosting the Oscars to India becoming one of YouTube's biggest markets, the platform is clearly at a turning point. So today, I'm sitting down with Gunjan, Country Managing Director of YouTube India, to talk about creators, culture, responsibility, and what 2026 really looks like for YouTube and India. Gunjan, a very warm welcome to NDTV. My first question, I have very few subscribers. How do I increase them to like 5x? If you can do some magic in your machines and do that for me. No, I'm kidding. Sorry, my first question is, YouTube securing the rights to host the Oscars from 2029 is massive. It's arguably the biggest traditional TV property moving to a digital platform. Does this mark the end of television?
Well, I would say it's more the evolution of the living room screen in everybody's homes and YouTube becoming and commanding a large presence there. So closer home in India itself, we now have 75 million users who are using YouTube on their connected TV screens, as we call it. Simultaneously, like you said, the Oscar symbolizes one of the biggest cultural moments. And, coming off a traditional property like this on YouTube, therefore also in a way signifies the same thing, that YouTube is already the big cultural phenomena and drives consumption in the same light. And what we are seeing happen, therefore, more and more is that both the viewers, because of, again, the phenomena of the large screen, and again, coming closer home, we see about 50% of the consumption on these large screens happens on content 21 minutes and beyond. YouTube has, therefore, the new TV, where we expect a lot more of the cultural phenomena to shine, not only of, traditional properties and award shows, but equally podcasts, comedy content, music, movies.
Would you say that for sports as well? Do you see that also happening, biggest of the sports event? Also, do you see that moving to YouTube?
Absolutely. We see a strong growth also on the live capabilities that we have. And again, what makes YouTube very exciting is that, you can't put us in one lane. And therefore, as much as we love the live phenomena itself, we know that we also leverage what can happen before and after the live event, and we truly help build fandoms. Award shows being one example, sports fandoms being another example, music fandoms being another example, and I can go on and on.
India is also, one of YouTube's biggest markets. What is one India-specific behavior that creators usually underestimate?
Creators quite underestimate the power of language, and they're starting to understand it better. But I think especially also talking about, very positive use case of AI and generative AI. Language used to be almost, visualize this huge, sturdy steel fence, right? That kept a large population of local content creators in smaller towns and in regional towns out of the big movement. And equally, when you think about India going global, breaking the language barrier perhaps is a huge force that people can leverage. We're equally seeing the reverse trend happen as well, where, globally strong content creators like Mr. Beast are now winning in India because they're adopting the language capabilities and now most recently he's kind of reaching out into India using 5 languages.
Yeah.
And with India going global, we're seeing now about 15% of the content consumption for content locally produced in India happening from outside India.
What does success on YouTube India look like today? Do we look at views, community, or the cultural impact?
I think the new currency is really the currency of fandom. And when you really think about that currency, it rides on trust fundamentally. And I think the trust that the creators have built with their communities and how they've nurtured it is truly what differentiates, successful creators versus not. And then you can measure it in all the traditional metrics. But this also is what is driving economic benefit and impact for them. Again, to use some data points, because I know NDTV loves them. We are seeing that about 85% of users of YouTube confirm that they trust recommendations when they come from YouTube creators. And that's no small feat. And I think it is largely because these communities have been nurtured. And this is not just large creators, this is also smaller creators. And the trust equation that has been built over a period of time with consistency, with thoughtfulness, and with talking to that community with that strong sense of authenticity versus the made up appeal that might happen in some of the other platforms is really what cuts through and helps the creators succeed.
When it comes to the content on YouTube, of course, on one hand you have these big production houses, but on the other hand you have somebody who comes from a very small town and then they make it big, and now they're not only earning money but they're also living a certain kind of lifestyle and fandom that you're talking about, the new currency, that they enjoy having that as well. And I really want to mention Sourav Joshi here. He's become one of India's most watched creators, recently got married, and his content is all over the internet, I would say, across different platforms. What does his success tell us about the future of content on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked that, because in many ways his journey, I think, mirrors the journey of India itself, right? Ambitious, innovative, and ready to take on the world. And this is India from all its corners with all its faces. And I think, going back to the point that I was making about language barriers, the more we break them, the more we will see creators like Sourav Joshi continue to shine. And he's not the only example. And I think that's what makes this trend even more exciting. It is the story of the new India.
This is something that every creator asks, that, what's one myth about the YouTube algorithm that you want to bust in 2026?
The power of content creation comes when stories are told from their heart. And I think a lot of creators, like you said, keep trying to guess whether I should do short form, long form, what should I do? And I think the biggest myth to bust there is there's no one right formula. It really depends on the story that you want to tell, the community you want to cultivate. And therefore, the more authentic your mechanism is, and the more you use multi-formats, it really helps you stand out and build that trust, and therefore the long-term fandom in the community. It's not a flash in the pan phenomena. It is really about commitment and trust building over a period of time.
Do you think YouTube creators today carry more cultural responsibility than traditional media ever did?
I wouldn't say it's more or less. I think it's a collective responsibility of the entire M&E industry to always hold high standards, to bring out clear, authentic voice, and be fair in their in the driving of the outcomes that they're working towards.
One genre that you think is underestimated at this moment in this country?
At the end of the year, we typically do these wraps and we look at various different trends that happen, and I think really we were surprised by the hyper-local content shining through. So I would say that's one genre that's really breaking through. But then you also have a lot of the global creators succeed, and how, for example, the K-pop demon hunters are ruling the roost, and how Mr. Beast has gotten 45 million Indian subscribers. I think it's just becoming a cultural melting pot, where we are seeing global become local and local become global.
Okay, we'll wrap this chat with a fun segment. I have called this New Year, New YouTube, where these are questions related to 2026. So as we enter a new year, what should creators stop doing in 2026?
Well, maybe let me instead talk about what I think they should start doing, which is to use the full power of YouTube. So use all formats, going back to our short and long form. Use all screens to power through. Think long-term IPs, and that's the power of what you can leverage the platform for.
One habit creators must build in 2026 to stay relevant for the next 5 years.
I think creators really need to. They're already becoming entrepreneurs in their own right, and it's time they start taking a more CEO mindset. And I think that will differentiate the creators who will be long-term successful versus probably those who will be successful for short periods of time.
What's the most unexpected channel you personally enjoy watching?
Recently, and being influenced by my niece and nephew, the Wish cover of K-pop Demon Hunter song really blew me away. It was unexpected.
Right. Now complete this sentence. In 2026, creators who survive will be the ones who
take on the CEO mindset.
Thank you. With that, we've come to an end of this conversation. This is Arun Singh signing off for NDTV.